Hello boys, so here again there is a continuation of the poem lines number 47 to 61. So with the culture of reading books, the poet hence emphasizes and tells us what more can you unlock the power of imagination. With the power of imagination, what more can you unlock by reading books? So here he says, to read some more, great Scott, Gas books. One half their lives was reading books. The nursery shelves held books galore, books cluttered up the nursery floor, and in the bedroom by the bed more books were waiting to be read. Such wondrous, fine, fantastic tales of dragons, gypsies, queens in Wales, and treasure isles and distant shores, where smugglers rode with muffled oars, and pirates wearing purple pants, and sailing ships and elephants, and cannibals crouching round the pot, stirring away at something hot. It smells so good, what can it be? Good gracious, is Penelope. So with these lines, the poet is trying to emphasize and trying to unlock the power of imagination. And here he says there are so many great books, so many great writers that are available for children to read. Earlier, there used to be books everywhere in the shelves, in the nursery, and even on the floor. There are books and books near and on the bed. Those books contained wonderful stories about huge monsters, dragons, gypsies, queens, whales, treasure islands, and faraway places across the seashore. These are interesting and gripping stories of the smugglers and pirates who wore purple pants and sailed ships with covered oars so as not to make any kind of sound. Okay, the elephants roamed freely. Cannibals used to cook something delicious named after Penelope. She was the faithful wife of Odyssey, and in Homer's epic, the Odyssey. So these are the stories that he says you can unlock. All right, you can unlock and you can win into the imaginations of all these fairy tales and all these kinds of fairy stories by if you read books, and it is going to quiver your imagination, and it is going to make a child a full grown person, because as I've already told you, if you sit and lead a very sedentary life, and only if you're just sitting and watching, it dulls your imagination, it makes your brain very soft as cheese. You have nothing to imagine, and you're just seeing what is being projected in front of your eyes in a form of a movie or a drama on television set. But besides that, you're only letting the director think. All right, you're only letting the director think, and the power of his imagination is taking flight, but yours is just there. Not even, you don't even rev up the engine, you just allow it to be cold and set aside in the garage. So it's something like an unused car. So it's something like a car. If you do not rev up the engine every morning, all right, so the engines are going to get rusty, the engines are not going to work properly. In the same way, if you do not read books, all right, if you do not read storybooks, if you do not read any kind of books, and if you just prefer to sit in front of a television set and watch, or if you just prefer to hold your mobile phones in your hand, and if you just want to play games, think again, because the whole concentration is into your watching the television or into the games, and it is not giving you any power of imagination. You are simply sitting there and letting your mind rust in the same way as you are letting your car rust in the garage, and you just one day you just realize that you have a car, and then you would want to take it out, but you try to rev up the engine, so what you see is that you will see a broken car. So in the same way, you should not allow this to happen to your brain. All right, so with this, there has to be a full development of your mind and your body. So you should read books that is going to make your mind, that is going to make you think, that is going to make you a creative person, so that tomorrow you become a thinker, so tomorrow you become a leader. So you have to read books, you have to get into the although you might be into the physical activity of games, of course that is there, that is going to help your body, but then what is going to, like, in the same way as I've already told you what exercise does to your body, reading does to your mind. So you'll also have to keep your mind always ready, and you'll always have to keep your mind open, and you should always be looking forward for development. Don't let your mind sit and rust like an old car in the garage. Alright, so thank you for listening. So in the next video, you'll see a follow-up and the further explanation of the lines. Thank you so much.